some technical difficulties because everyone was so excited to learn more about Germany. But let's get back to your questions. So what is the next question?
Next question is, do Germans have discrimination against Asians? If they do, how do you deal with this? It's from Yijun.
Oh, Yijun. Hello, Yijun. Thank you for watching. Very good question. It's a very difficult question to answer. It's a very heavy question to answer too. Today we're supposed to be talking about travel, but it's okay, we can answer this question. So there are, in my view, when I think about this kind of issue, there are different kinds of discrimination, all right? So when we think about racism, you have to think about it on two levels. First of all, you have to think about the people, right? How people treat other people of different race. So this is one level to think about. But another level is to think about the laws and think about the social policies that are in place. So I will tell you that Germany and Europe in general, right now, in terms of social policies, is not racism. Is not racist. They try their best not to discriminate, because you know what happened in Germany before, right? So it is my experience that actually the laws, the policies that govern the land do their best to not be discriminatory. And I think that's a very good thing. This is unlike places like the United States, where there are still policies and laws that actively discriminate in subtle ways. In my experience in Germany, what I understand based on my conversations with German friends, they go out of their way to make sure that the laws are fair. But people, that's a different story. It really depends on where you are, it depends on who you are as well, and it also depends on what you are doing, your actions. And so they will not actively discriminate against you for the most part. It's not like you experience racism every day. But in certain places you can sort of tell that there is some discrimination. For instance, sometimes people speak louder to me. But it could be because I don't understand what they're saying. So is that considered racism? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just because they're frustrated, that I don't understand what they're saying. But it could be, and it could also be because you're breaking the social norms. So I had this experience where, because German stores close very early, they close at about 8 p.m. at sharp. So if you enter the store at 7:55, they will tell you, hurry up. And they're very straightforward about this. They'll say, hurry up. And let's say it's 8 o'clock. Okay, they will come to you and they will say, pay or get out. And it's a very straightforward kind of interaction. But I don't think this is discriminatory. I don't think this is racism, because you are acting in a way that Germans find unacceptable. You are breaking the social norms. So it's a very difficult question to answer. As a whole, in general, I will say that the younger the generation and the more multicultural a place is, for instance, the big cities, the less discrimination you're going to face. But once in a while, you still feel that's probably racism. But you can't, it's not very overt, at least in my experience. Okay? So it's a very difficult question to answer. I'm very glad you asked it. Don't worry about being openly discriminated against if you visit Germany. That's my final word. Okay? Is that good? Yes?
Yes. Maybe we can...
Take a break? No, show some photographs. Okay, we can show some photographs. Okay, so in my time in Germany, me and my fiance, we did a count, more than 15 cities in Germany. So we took some time to travel around small towns, big cities, a lot of places to travel, especially when you live there for a year. And I want to show you some photographs that we took, some highlights of some cities that we really liked. So I want to show you one here that normally you don't think about when you visit Germany. It's a very specific place. This is the city of Bonn, B-O-N-N, Bonn. And it is famous for two things, mainly two things. The first is this. This is the Cherry Blossom Street Lane, so Yinhua Dadao. And And it's very specific. We went at the time, which is about this time, right, about May. This is the time of year that the cherry blossoms are most beautiful, and it's only this time. So you have to, and if you are a student or if you are someone who works, it's very difficult to go to Germany in May. You normally, if you're a student, you have to study in May. This is class time, and normally breaks don't happen during this time. So it was very, very, very wonderful opportunity to visit. It looks just as beautiful as in the pictures, maybe even better. We have another photo to show you. One more. Next. Yes, this is, and it looks just like this. It's infinitely romantic. And so yeah, that's my German girlfriend right here. This is her. Yes, that's me anyway. So we took this photograph in the city of Bonn. That's the first thing that Bonn is famous for. The second thing that Bonn is famous for, next photo please. So more photos, but yes, the next photo is, yes, this man here. Bonn is famous because this man, important German composer, Ludwig van Beethoven, he was born here in the city of Bonn. And you can visit the actual room he was born in. Of course, Beethoven didn't live in Bonn for most of his life. Actually, he was in Vienna. But this place is so famous. People visit the birthplace of this great musician. And so we should all know important works by Beethoven, right? Right? Für Elise, for Alice or for Elise, famous piano piece. Moonlight Sonata, 月光奏鸣曲, right? What else? 命运交响曲, right? 合唱交响曲, 欢乐颂, yes. So important works in classical music that we all know very well, written by this famous composer. Okay, so I think we have a couple more photos of Bonn. Yes, this is a very handsome face of Beethoven where you can step on it. This is, yeah, that was a joke. But anyway, it leads you to where the home is. So I thought that was very interesting. Yes. We recently celebrated. We were there on the 251st, but a couple years ago they celebrated 250 years of Beethoven's birth, and this is one of the things that you can buy. 250 piano pieces for Beethoven. Yes, 40 euros. Very nice. And this little doll here of Beethoven, supposed to be Beethoven writing. Beethoven is known in music because he went deaf in later years, but was still able to compose beautiful music. Okay, next photo. Okay, this is another city. Let's answer a few more questions before we get to this city. For those of you who, yes, who don't know, this is my son Joe. Okay. Any more questions? Iris.
There is a question from Liu Fangyu.
Fangyu. Hello, Fangyu.
What is the most valuable thing that you've learned during your stay in Germany?
What is the most valuable thing? Just one thing? One valuable thing?
Yeah, the most.
The most? That is too hard a question to answer in such short time. This is going to sound very, very kumbaya, very, very blasé. But one of the things I learned about studying in Germany is that, I hate to say this, it sounds bad, but I think that in Taiwan, we really are a very small place. And we really should expose ourselves to more cultures and more diverse ways of thinking. I think that in Taiwan, you don't realize this when you live here. I grew up in Taiwan, and you don't realize that there are many other ways of living. You sort of buy into how society wants you to act and how society wants you to behave. but you really don't understand that there's a whole new world outside, so many different kinds of cultures and ways to live, until you actually see it and you visit it. And I would say, unless you live there for some time. And it has been, I think, a great privilege in my life to be able to return to my old, to my school, to my alma mater, to share some of my experiences and what I've learned in Germany, because not many people have this opportunity. And you leave and then you move on to the next thing in your life. And so one of the things that I would suggest to all college students is to be open to new cultures, new experiences, and to really think critically about the world that we live in here in Taiwan. It's very easy to be very satisfied. And we live in a society, I think, that is in many ways very closed. 我们受比较封闭一些. I think that we should mentally expand a little bit more. And I value how much this, and the reason I say this is because if you are in Germany, all you need to do is to get on a bus, and then maybe 5 hours later, or 6 hours later, you're in another country. That's how Europe is. You get on a plane, and then you fly, a couple hours, and then you're in London. And so you feel very close to different kinds of civilization. You feel very close to different kinds of people. I think it makes people in Europe more tolerant and more open to new experiences. Okay, I think that's the most important thing. I can only think of one. Very deep, right? Okay. All right, so thank you all. Thank you for the question, Fang Yu. Very good question.
And a question from Guanmin.
Guanmin. Hello, Guanmin. Thank you for watching.
If you had a chance to choose living in Taipei or Germany, which will you choose?
Oh, good question. You have to consider a lot of things, actually. So in Taipei or in Germany, Germany is a big place. So you have to think about like where in Germany. So, and do I speak German? Do I speak perfect German? What kind of job do I have? You have to think about all kinds of different things. In terms of the living conditions, let's start from the most basic then. I think in terms of the weather, I prefer Germany. Taiwan is really hot, really humid, and I have some allergies. But when I was in Germany, I really liked the weather. I like the snow, I like how cool it is. So just in terms of the weather, I really like it in Germany. But in terms of the society, because my German is not perfect, okay, I can get by in daily life, but I don't think I can work using just German. And therefore, it's really hard to feel like you're part of society in a very real way. In Taiwan, I feel like I'm part of the society. So I'm part of everything, including things like the political process. You feel involved in the politics. You feel involved in how society operates. You feel like you're contributing to society. But in Germany, you feel like a little bit like an outsider, because I'm not a German European citizen. And it's very limited. You can become a European citizen, of course, with many years of work. You can certainly become German. But I think that it's a very difficult question. If I had a choice, it depends. Yeah, hard to answer, but good question. I've made my case. Okay, so we should take a break now for a few minutes, and we'll be right back to answer more of your questions. Thank you very much.